Hi, good evening, everyone. A heartfelt welcome to all of you, and thank you so much for joining us today. By now, you all know that Vasu is the founder of Hold Forum for Women. Bhairavi, Devi, and me are the co-founders. Hold Forum for Women is an attempt to create a support and space for women by coming together, connecting each other, connecting to other women and experts, sharing knowledge and experience to create awareness and to learn and empower each other. In past 2 years, we have had sessions on various topics related to women's physical, mental, and emotional health. To get access to all these our previous sessions, we would request you to please go and visit our website, holdforumforwomen.com, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel where you will find the recordings of all the sessions that we have had before. Also, you can follow us on our social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, where you will get information about our next session. And also the links for registration are being posted over there. Today's topic is understanding frozen shoulder through physiotherapy. Previously, we have had 2 sessions on bone health. First one was in January 2023. We had done a session with a physiotherapist on the topic physical therapy with a physio for 40 plus women. And then in February 2023, we did a session with an orthopedic consultant on the topic bone health for premenopausal and menopausal women. Would request all of you to watch the recordings in case you have missed attending our sessions. And just a reminder that this session would be recorded. In our last segment, we will be taking some audience questions, and you can post your question either in the chat box or raise your hand to talk to the guest speaker directly. You can also choose to put your question privately to any of the whole members in the chat box, like privately to them, and they will take the question to the guest speaker. Now it's time that I call upon Bhairavi to introduce our esteemed guest speaker for today, Dr. Anushri Pansarkar.
Thank you, Anjali. Thank you very much. Today, we have Dr. Anushri Pansarkar with us.
Hello, everybody.
I know Anushri for 30 plus years now. And when I got to know that I had to introduce her, I just realized that, she is my sister-in-law. So I just realized that when somebody is related to you, you know so little about their professional thing officially, right? So when she told me today, I was like, wow. Like I knew she does all this, but when you actually get to hear it, you're like, oh my God. So I'll begin with her introduction. Dr. Anushri Pansarkar, she's a physiotherapist. She did her post-graduation after having her 2 kids, which was I think it's a big thing. She's also done her matrix certification. Now, matrix is a machine that they use for physiotherapy. I think she'll tell us about it after I pass on the thing to her. She's also done a PSRP, Pune Shoulder Rehab Program, in which there were exercises for frozen shoulders and exercises for post-shoulder surgeries. She's also a yoga teacher. So many feathers in her cap. I think she's also done psychology recently to understand the connection between physiotherapy and psychology. I think let her talk about it, which was very interesting. Anushri, Dr. Anushri, please.
Thank you, the forum, for calling me to talk on this shoulder, frozen shoulder and physiotherapy. So let us see to it that the talk is being very casual and not very medical point of view. So it happens that once in a lifetime, everyone tends to have a restricted range of motion, that a person cannot do all the movements with with his or her shoulder joint. It can be because of anything, that is trauma or some immobilization that is given, and it can be post-operative. So why it is called as a frozen shoulder and not as a only stiff shoulder? Because the condition starts initially with little or some amount of pain, and as the pain progresses, the range of motion of the shoulder, that is the movement that we can do in the shoulder joint, slowly start coming down. The second stage is more pain. Now the third stage is where the pain is less, but the stiffness sets in. And the last stage where we can see that the thawing stage, where slowly the recovery of the person starts. So usually when the person comes with a shoulder pain and stiffness in the shoulder, they usually ask, how did I have this? What is the conditions that are putting me, or the predisposing factors? So it is known that diabetes is a major predisposing factor. So all the persons who are having diabetes are bound to have frozen shoulder if they don't take good care of themselves. That is the shoulder joint. If they don't move their shoulder in all the available ranges, one is expected to have a frozen shoulder. So each and every person who is not moving the shoulder, will that person land in a frozen shoulder? No, that is not the condition. There are some things that are predisposing you, because as we age, our hormonal imbalances set in, our diabetes, possibility of being diagnosed as diabetic condition, possibility of us having thyroid, and hormonal imbalances. That are the conditions where a person or a female is predisposed of having a frozen shoulder. I will like to quote a simple example, that when I'm working on a kitchen and I just have to, it happens that I get small burn, and my reaction is, oh, I got a burn. So this small jerky movement of the shoulder will put a little stress on your shoulder joint. If it happens that pain sets in, that is the beginning. If you don't take care of this pain, and along and during this painful condition, if you don't maintain your shoulder range, it is definitely going to go into a frozen or stiff shoulder. Now, why it is that I have a elbow pain and still I'm able to come out of it and not out of the frozen shoulder? Because a shoulder has too many functions. Like if we see for the wrist, we have these movements, and the circular movements. But if we consider the shoulder, it is moved up, sideways, rotation in, rotation out, that we call as, and backward. And so too many movements are happening, and a subtler movement, if it is compromised, our human body is so smart that the other movement is taken care. So we tend to lose the painful movement very in a simple way, and we just forget if we are not able to do the exercises for the full range of motion of the shoulder. So now if I'm talking about shoulder, usually we feel it may be two joints. I would like to show that shoulder has got 3 bones. Okay, I hope everybody is able to see this. So now this is my left shoulder I'm trying to show you. Okay, so this is the clavicle bone, that is the collarbone. This is the bone of our arm, that is the humerus. And this is the bone this bone is the back side of human body. So this is placed on the thorax. And the shoulder blade, we can feel when we palpate or we touch from the backside. Now, if any of the ligaments or the muscles that are supporting from here, they arise from here where here the spine is, okay, and they come and get inserted or attached over the arm. Like some muscles are coming from the forward and they get attached. So if there is injury all over here or any at one point, you are bound to get affection of the shoulder, or your shoulder joint is going to get affected. Now,
Doctor, 1 minute. I
mechanism-
have a question I want to clarify. You're
Yeah.
saying that the shoulder bone is at a certain here, and
Yeah.
from both sides, it is the muscles are holding it, isn't it? Are
Yes,
you saying that?
yes.
Okay,
The muscles are holding it from all the sides.
okay.
So I'll show once again. This is the front side of our chest where we have our collarbone. This is the side. Okay. This is the back.
Yeah.
So you can see the whole thing as a complex, but it is not like this in our human body. This has been combined together and shown to you so that you can understand that if you have a clavicle fracture and if this is not treated properly, or if you feel that this is not moving properly, your again shoulder range is going to get affected.
Okay.
Okay. So
So my question related to that is, that means even if there is something to do with the muscles, it's connected to frozen shoulders?
yes, I'm coming to that.
Okay.
So why it is that muscle part is so important? Because usually we feel bone is very important, but bones cannot move without muscles. Okay. And if muscle is affected, you will always tend to have restrictions. So muscle, if it is restricted, it will give rigidity or it will give stiffness. And if that stiffness continues, it will give restriction of the joint also. Okay. And it is also seen that as we age, if you consider a small baby or a young kid, their range of motion is fine. Okay. Why is it so that we tend to age and we tend to become stiffer? Because we tend to be rigid in our minds, and that rigidity of mind is precipitated down in the muscles. So we tend to become, as we say that it is the predisposing factor of frozen shoulder, no cause known. If it is non-diabetic, no trauma, still a person may have frozen shoulder, yes. So we have to analyze what is going on in the mind also, so that we take care of that. Okay.